An amazing unforeseen development in California has left a surrogate mom in an awful care fight after one of the two kids she brought forth appeared to really be hers. Jessica Allen, 31, was permitted an hour with the infants she had brought forth as a feature of her $35,000 contract to go about as a surrogate, yet the guardians expelled them from the healing facility before she could see them. In the long run, the mom paid a 10-minute visit and demonstrated a photo of the twins on a mobile phone, provoking Allen to comment that they appeared to be unique. As experts could discover later, not exclusively were Max and Mike not indistinguishable twins, but rather they had totally extraordinary DNA, and that in truth Max was her infant. It appeared glaringly evident in the photographs, as Mike had all the earmarks of being an Asian type and therefore had a place with the Liu family, yet Max seemed, by all accounts, to be half white and half African American. Allen, who is white, has a dark spouse named Wardell Jasper. What had happened is to a great degree uncommon restorative episode that is known as superfetation, when somebody gets pregnant, normally notwithstanding utilizing condoms, even after the Liu's fetus was exchanged to her uterus by means of in vitro treatment (IVF). Under her agreement, Wardell and Allen were not to have sex until given consent by the IVF specialist, who suggested that they utilize condoms, a necessity that they followed as well. In any case, when she was examined at a month and a half, the specialist found another infant, something that fulfilled the Liu's since they were excited to have twins. They even knock up the installment by $5,000 for the second tyke. After the entire experience happened and the Liu's acknowledged Max was not theirs, they supposedly needed nothing to do with them and requested $1,822,000 in installment. The Liu's were even purportedly considering putting Max up for selection if Wardell and Allen could concoct the cash to pay them. At long last the case was settled and the couple met with a case manager in a parking garage, where she got their child and named him Malachi. The accompanying is a selection from Wikipedia on superfetation. Superfetation, additionally spelled superfortation, see baby, is the synchronous event of more than one phase of creating posterity in a similar creature. In well-evolved creatures, it shows as the development of an incipient organism from an alternate estrous cycle, while another developing for baby is as of now display in the uterus. At the point when two separate occasions of preparation happen amid the same menstrual cycle, it is known as superfecundation. Superfetation is asserted to be basic in a few types of creatures, yet is to a great degree uncommon in people. In well-evolved creatures, it can happen just where there are two uteri, or where the estrous burn proceeds through pregnancy. The hazard with superfetation in people is that the second infant is frequently conceived rashly, which can build its chances of encountering lung improvement issues. Reports of superfetation happening long after the main impregnation have frequently been treated with doubt, and some have been unmistakably defamed. Different clarifications have been given and illustrated for various levels of improvement between twins. Falsely prompted superfetation has, be that as it may, been illustrated, albeit just up to a brief period after insemination. In 1960, John and Mary Tress of Baltimore, Maryland had what the medical caretaker erroneously recognized as twins. Dr. Paul C. Weinberg of Mt. Sinai Healing Facility conveyed the young men, Anthony John and Mark Francis, and understood that Anthony, conceived 5 minutes previously, his sibling Mark, looked untimely. Promptly, Dr. Weinberg did X-beams of the young men's thigh bones and saw a divergence in bone age. Anthony was a 12-month untimely child conceived 5 minutes previously, his full-term sibling Mark. Anthony was considered an entire 2 months after his sibling Mark. In July of 1988, Ernesto and Calixto Mejia, imagined 1 month separated, were conceived in Houston, Texas, USA to Calixto and Angela Mejia. In 1992, Taylor and Evan Barth, imagined 1 month separated, were conceived in Hawaii, USA to John and Michelle Barth. In 2007, Am and Leah Herity, imagined 3 weeks separated, were conceived in the United Kingdom to Amelia Spence and George Herity. In 2009, Todd and Julia Grovenberg of Fort Smith, Arkansas, got universal media consideration for Grovenberg's origination of an extra kid while effectively pregnant with a youngster imagined more than 2 weeks sooner. On the off chance that it were conceivable to convey the two kids to term, the introduction of the principal type would be normal in December 2009, while the second youngster would be expected in January 2010. Grovenberg's obstetrician revealed that instances of superfetation must be affirmed after conveyance by chromosomal and metabolic investigations on the baby. Grovenberg conceived an offspring by caesarean area on December 2, 2009 to Gillian, the infant young lady considered before, and Hudson, the infant kid imagined over 2 weeks later. In 2015, Kate and Peter Hill, from Brisbane, Australia, imagined two infant young ladies 10 days separated. What puts forth this defense especially uncommon is that the couple had just a solitary intercourse preceding the two originations. The two young ladies, Charlotte and Olivia, were conceived in December 2015. California surrogate mom says not twins, had completely different DNA, was last modified October 28, 2017 by Amy Stone.